this Liverpool side is so relentless. Darwin Nunez coming on and scoring an injury time winner. That is what Premier League title winning teams always have. They always have that game. I remember the company game versus Leicester for Man City. They always have that game, Man City when they won the league on the final day versus Liverpool, 2-0 behind, where someone comes up with a clutch goal. And that was Darwin Nunez today. And that could be a league-winning goal because I think with Liverpool, I've always thought they were going to win the league. And I've not doubted that. I just think Arsenal, the injuries, the lack of quality in attack. Look, Forest are great. I don't think they can do it. Newcastle have been unbelievable. Look what Bournemouth did to them today. City aren't good enough. United, Tottenham nowhere near. And Chelsea aren't good enough. I always thought Liverpool was going to win the league. But I thought, well, if they go 3 Premier League games in a row without a win, particularly after the United game, other than Accrington Stanley, they haven't won. It would be a bit deja vu to last season. I thought maybe the cracks are there. Maybe this Liverpool team is gettable. And I definitely think, Liverpool need to invest. Arne Slot needs some money spent for sure. There's some cracks in this Liverpool side, but sadly, I think Liverpool are going to win the league. I think Darwin Nunez has won the league. And you know what? I thought Brentford did very well. They defended well. And the amount of effort Brentford put in, how well drilled they are, how hard working they were. But Liverpool deserve to win the game. Look at the stats. 4 big chances, 3.46 XG. Brentford defended for their life. The low block was brilliant. They caused some problems on the transition. I have to say, Konate defending against the transition clutch. But Virgil van Dijk today, he deserved the clean sheet. He held that defence together because Brentford have, I think, the second or third. I think they're third. But this could be wrong, and I did read this a couple of weeks ago. I think they're third for goals scored at home this season. Just to show how good Brentford are going forward, they're dangerous. And Buemo Vista, dangerous. I thought that Van Dijk held that defence together today. I thought he was unbelievable, but Konate did really well in terms of the transitions, the 1v1 duels, getting back. Even Trent put in a very strong defensive performance, and he's been getting a lot of stick. But Liverpool ultimately deserved to win that game in the end. As much as I wanted Brentford to get something out of it, Liverpool created enough to win the game and the breakthrough game. And Brentford gave everything they tried. You could see the fatigue in Brentford at the end, and it showed. But Liverpool did enough. They just weren't as composed in front of goal. They'd gone from being really good in front of goal to just being a little bit more wasteful today. So let me give you my general notes and thoughts on this game. Now, Darwin Nunez is just going to get man of the match for the pure fact that he won the game. But Van Dijk and Konate were excellent. Szoboszlai was absolutely everywhere. Szoboszlai deserves credit. Trent looked really good. He got a lot of stick versus United, but the desire that Trent showed today, the defensive performance to get the assist. But Harvey Elliott was just as good a sub as Darwin Nunez. Harvey Elliott got a pre-assist and an assist. Harvey Elliott is someone that's always been best known as maybe Liverpool's low block killer. The guy that can get between the lines, comfortable on the ball in tight areas and play those little passes. He's got the vision, he's got the IQ to break down low blocks. And there was a period last season where I think Harvey Elliott was actually fourth in the league fourth, I think in 2024 for assists at one point. There was a period where Klopp was playing a bit more, and you could see that he was breaking down the low blocks and getting the assists. And I think it was over a 4 or 5 month period where he was fourth for assists or something like that. It was, you could see his impact. I would check the actual stat, but I want to get into this match reaction. So I want to give Harvey Elliott credit as well. He was a very, very good sub today. Darwin Nunez was a very good sub. Chiesa had involvement in that as well. The energy, even Curtis Jones. I thought Szoboszlai was unbelievable today. He ran his socks off, but I think the amount of running in that game, by the way, that was a 0-0 that had so much running in. I think the fresh legs was needed. I think Liverpool had the extra quality on the bench that won them the game, but Brentford, they made it difficult today. They worked their socks off. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, and Manchester United, Liverpool's last 2 Premier League games, all 3 of those teams worked their socks off versus Liverpool, and they made it incredibly difficult. Now, Trent, big credit to him, because a lot of Liverpool fans have been giving him stick. Is his head in Madrid? Has he lost his desire? Trent had the desire today. The run that Trent was making, not just the assist, but the way that Trent was just running up the pitch there in the 90th minute when Wiss is on the floor and can barely move. The tracking back, the getting back, making tackles. Trent was very good. Van Dijk, man of the match contender. If it wasn't for Darwin Nunez scoring the winner, Van Dijk was man of the match. Absolutely outstanding today. Konate, again, Van Dijk was a monster at the back, defending the box, doing all of that. But Konate had to deal with this. He had to deal with transition opportunities that Brentford were going to get because they were low block, get Liverpool in transition. I thought he did so well. And Konate is one of those players when it comes to speed, dueling, strength. He's one of the best 1v1 be 1v1 defenders out there, wide channel defenders, wide space defenders, and that was what he had to do today. And I think Liverpool missed that. I think Joe Gomez stepped up well, but I think Liverpool missed that when Konate was injured. They're definitely going to need another centre back for depth, and I think Kwanzaa could go out on loan. Szoboszlai was everywhere. I thought Liverpool were very wasteful from corners. I thought they were not as composed in front of goal today. I thought Salah didn't have his best game. And I think they need to sign players, would be my 4 takeaways if we're looking at it from a less positive perspective. They won the game. It wasn't easy. They need to sign players. FSG needs to, give Slot some backing. Darwin Nunez deserves credit, but I think he might go in the summer. And I think Slot will want someone. I don't know what kind of striker Slot's going to want. Is he going to want more of a Sesko or more of a Gyökeres with got finishing instincts? Or is he going to want someone like a Cunha that can play striker left wing and drop deep and hold up the ball like a Firmino? It'll be interesting to see what approach Liverpool go with for striker. But I want to talk about this. Szoboszlai, progression and carry right at the top. Every time Szoboszlai got the ball, he was driving forward. He was getting the ball forward. I felt that Liverpool's attack was a little bit slow in that first half, but I thought Szoboszlai was in a weird way, not the fastest by speed, but he was making the game move a bit quicker. He had a little bit more intensity and desire about him. And I thought Trent was good. And Trent had the most progression via pass. I thought Szoboszlai and Trent were actually the ones that were really getting the game moving today. I thought they were both good. I think McAllister had a good game as well, actually, to give credit to him. But let me talk about some other points. I think Tsimikas had a difficult game. He did get done defensively a couple of times. I thought Robertson, actually, who's not had his best season, I think left back is the position that Liverpool probably need to sign in the summer, first things first. Whether they look at Kirkes, whether they look at Robinson, it'll be interesting to see who you guys go for. I hope Kirkes ends up at United, but Robbo delivered some really good crosses after coming on today. He delivered some really good crosses, actually. I thought he caused some problems. Konate, as I said, dealing with the transitions, excellent. Because Brentford were a threat in behind. They had some threat. They had space, and I thought Konate seemed to be there most of the time. Well, Van Dijk was making this brilliant last-ditch recovery sort of block or tackle. Or Van Dijk in the box. When the ball is in the box, Van Dijk is there. He's on everything. As I said, Szoboszlai's energy, just, the pressing, the energy, really improved Liverpool. My big note on Szoboszlai is he needs to shoot more. He whacked it hard and came so close. I think he hit the post or the bar. Can't remember. His shot, because I remember him scoring worldies. He's got it in him. And sometimes in a game like that, as I just talked about at the beginning of the video, how Company won the league for Man City with that excellent goal versus Leicester. That could have been a Szoboszlai moment on a different day. He's got that in his locker and he should probably shoot more. But it wasn't that. I thought the Szoboszlai's energy, he just led the charge. He set the tempo. He was moving the ball quicker. And I think Szoboszlai, he got a bit of stick at the beginning of the season because he started really well at Liverpool. He dropped off and then he got a bit of stick at the beginning of the season. But I don't think people realise that Szoboszlai, what he does is he offers a lot more off the ball that I think you don't notice until when it gets further in the season and you see the exhaustion stick in. You can see Szoboszlai's running power, but particularly these last 2-3 months, I think Szoboszlai's been excellent. I think he's got better as sort of time's gone on with Slot's system. But I think it's a type of game where prime Firmino that could have dropped deep, got between the lines and created would have probably suited that sort of game. I think I looked at it and I thought, well, Liverpool are going to need another centre-back for depth because Konate gets injured. They're going to need that long-term left-back. They're probably going to need someone to rotate Gravenberch with because he's not using Endo. Endo's great. Endo's a top player, but he's not using Endo. Let's be honest. He looked very reluctant to use Chiesa as well, interestingly, despite him being good versus Atkinson. He didn't want to take Salah off, and I get that. When it's 0-0, if someone's going to win you a game, it would be Salah, and I get not taking Salah off, but he wasn't having the influence that Salah would have. But I thought the Liverpool definitely need some signings. There's definitely a part of them that may start to tire, and as they start to tire, could be gettable. But I still think Liverpool is sadly going to win the league. But I want to give Trent credit because I think, I get why Liverpool fans are frustrated. He's probably going to go to Real Madrid. You're going to lose one of your best players. And he was awful versus Man United. But Trent put in an unbelievable performance today, and he deserves credit for that. Not just the assist, not just the run. 5 key passes today, 2 out of 3 long balls, 1 big chance created, but he was running. He was everywhere. There was a point in the 60th minute or so where he'd lost the ball, and he's chasing Mbeumo back. He showed the desire. He played like someone that was, desperate to win that league title, desperate to get that win. Visser could barely move. It was, jelly legs. You could tell he was gone. But Trent was there working his socks off in the 91st or night, like driving the ball up the pitch, and then obviously just the desire, chasing Mbeumo back. But even the assist, I'm talking about the fact that Trent's a very intelligent player. He knows to run into that box. He plays the ball and he runs into that box. He was getting more central towards the end of the game, Trent. He knows to run into that box. He runs into the box, he receives the ball, and he plays the perfect ball into Nunez. But Trent's ability to pass the ball, then make the run, he must be exhausted. He was getting involved more centrally towards the end, and he was just passing the ball and moving forward. And the instinctive run in the box, having a player like Harvey Elliott there as well, playing the ball in, that got the goal. That got the Darwin Nunez goal, and that was brilliant from Trent. And I think he just looks much better defensive in this game. As I said, in Buemo, there was a chance. Trent was there. He showed that desire to really get back. But I thought in those last sort of 10, 15 minutes, as he went more into the middle, he had a lot more involvement in the game in terms of driving Liverpool forward. Darwin Nunez deserves a lot of credit today. Darwin Nunez is the biggest example of a confidence player. He gets one goal, he gets another one right after, and he's not scored in, 2 months. Darwin Nunez is a player that I watched him for Uruguay at Copa America. Really, really good. He's a confidence player. Darwin Nunez is a player where I think Liverpool will move him on because I think Slot's not sure. But I think he's a player that gets too much stick. I do. I think he probably will move on, and that's understandable. But when he's confident, he's a great player. He's a selfless player. He works hard. He runs the channels. His running power, his pressing was brilliant. He's unpredictable. He's frustrating. He can miss sitters. But he's one of those players, when it comes to pure running, when it comes to pure selflessness, he's a good player. He hasn't got those natural finishing instincts, where Dan's is definitely a better ball striker, definitely a better finisher. But Darwin Nunez today, he just ran his socks off. He gave that energy, and he deserves credit because he's got a lot of stick lately, and I understand Liverpool fans' frustration with him. But that was a huge goal for Nunez. And Nunez is the type of guy that now he scored 2 goals. Do you remember when he came off the bench? You had 10 men versus Newcastle last season. Nunez came off the bench and scored 2. Nunez is the kind of guy, he needs a moment like that, and he might score in the next 4 or 5 games in a row. That's the mad thing about Darwin Nunez. He's very much that kind of confidence player. Continuing on, Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott I thought was fantastic, heavily involved in both goals. I think Slot needs to use him more off the bench centrally. I know he's come back from injury, but I thought the last game versus Nottingham Forest, it was crying out for Harvey Elliott much earlier on. Because if Liverpool are trying to break down a low block and they've got a lot of the ball, that's a Harvey Elliott game. If it's a transition game, fair enough. But if you've got a lot of the ball and you're trying to break down the low block, Harvey Elliott suits those games because he's best in tight spaces. He gets between the lines. He's good at, not holding off players, but sort of turning away from players and playing the forward pass. But what Harvey Elliott's best traits are is vision, IQ, and passing. He knows exactly where Liverpool players are going to make the run, where they're going to be. We saw Christian Eriksen come on for United versus Southampton and dink a really nice ball into Ahmad. Like, Eriksen has the IQ and vision to know that Ahmad's going to make that pass. Now, Man United can't play Eriksen week in, week out because he doesn't have the legs. But Harvey Elliott's got that Eriksen gene in him where he's got that intelligence to play that pass. He's got that technical ability to play that pass. And that's why he's such an exciting talent. And 1 assist, 1 pre-assist. I think he suits the number 10 role under Slot. And I think we probably will see more of him. Maybe Slot's moulding him in because I do think he could suit that 10 role really well. Van Dijk and Konate, Salah gets a lot of credit this season. Salah will probably be Liverpool's player of the season, but I do think Van Dijk is the reason Liverpool are top of the league. I think he's an absolute monster. I really do think that, and I think Van Dijk and Konate at the back today, unbelievable because Brentford were dangerous. Brentford had chances. Brentford had opportunities. They had a difficult game. It wasn't an easy game despite Liverpool's dominance in possession. But they handled it brilliantly. And, aerial duels, Konate's top, Van Dijk second. In the box, they seem to get on everything. And then I just want to give a shout out to McAllister. I thought McAllister had a very good, very underrated game. I think, I would say McAllister was Liverpool's player of the season last year. And I think the first month of the season, I wouldn't say he wasn't at his best. He was still good, but he wasn't at his best. But I do think sort of October onwards, McAllister's really grown and looked good. Anyway, Liverpool fans, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.